Hello, everyone, and welcome to twitch.tv/ The Onyx Path for Trinity Continuum Aberrant Vigilance Session 2. I am Travis Legge. My pronouns are he and they, and I will be your story guide for everyone. The day. Before we dive in too far, I want to take a moment to remind everyone that the Sidereals Kickstarter is still kickstarting. So if you've not yet gone over and checked out Sidereals for Exalted 3rd Edition, please do so. Get in on there. And give it a look. There's a whole bunch of stretch goals unlocked, more stretch goals to meet. I think we're at, 6 days left? Let me double check that so I'm not making things up. 7 days to go, so you got time. And we got over 2,000 backers involved, so lots of people are showing a lot of interest in this book. That's amazing, super exciting, glad to hear. Also want to remind you all that it is the 10th anniversary of Onyx Path. To celebrate that 10th anniversary, each month we have focused on a different game line. And this month's game line has been Trinity Continuum. We still have some sales going on over at Drive-Thru RPG to support that. If you head over there right now, looks like we are switching things up for the first edition PDFs are what is next on sale. So keep an eye out for that. Watch the Monday meeting notes and figure out what's going on with those. I think that has managed to pay the bills, quote unquote. So let's get into our specifics, into our adventure, as it were. As we are playing Trinity Continuum, and I like to remind people when we are streaming, one of the features of Trinity Continuum is the ability to make tweaks. If you would like to at any point change one of your short or long-term aspirations, you may do so now. If you want to move a ability score to a different ability, like 1 dot from one ability score to another, you may do so. If you want to move a skill 1 dot from one skill to 1 dot to another skill, you may do so. All that requires you do is let me know what tweak you're making. Make sure you mark it on your sheet, and that you have to make sure that you roll that this session. Okay? So, Millie, do you have any tweaks that you would like to make to your character before we begin?
I don't think so. Just reading through it, I think I'm still pretty happy with where things are at right now.
And that you have to make sure that you roll that. Excellent. How about Kelly? Okay. You got any tweaks you'd like to make?
So the only tweak I want to make is this one.
Beautiful.
Just at the Prince Museum, baby, Paisley Park. Besides that, no, I think he was almost too effective. So if you need me to tweak anything, let me know. I'm good. Oh, I need to pick new aspirations though, because I actually burned through a couple of mine.
Yes. Beautiful.
Oh, never mind. I did. I succeeded one, and I've replaced it with Shame Wayne William.
Oh, that's a good aspiration. I absolutely endorse it. I'm a fan. That reminds me.
Take him down.
I should probably bring up his stuff, huh?
It might help.
And Bianca, you're joining us for the first time, so I would assume have nothing to tweak. But have you settled on 2 short-term and a long-term aspiration by chance?
I got 2 aspirations. One is like, when I wrote it down as like super vague. It's just like, do good. In this case, it's like, I want to use my powers to protect someone. So I kind of want to be a bit of like someone's shield. That is part of the being good part. I think that's a little more specific other than do good. Be a good person.
Excellent.
I want to use my power. And yeah, the long term is forming an opinion and on where her and Nova's place are in the world. So that's long term. But for now, just kind of want to be a bit of a show off while still being altruistic. So protect and be nice.
Beautiful. I love it. I'm a fan of it. And that's one short term and one long term that you've got? Is that correct?
Yeah.
And so what would you like? You'll need to select another short term. It can be as simple as punch a villain or dodge, successfully protect myself, successfully avoid damage. It could be as complicated as, something that your character would like to acquire, purchase. Could be really anything that you might achieve in the span of this game session.
So since it's the first introduction of this character, I think it would be good to have some sort of like character interactions where she feels like, oh, she might learn something from the party.
Of course. Cool. All right. So like glean a piece of insight from one of the other heroes. I like it. Well, that all sounds great. And without further ado, I would like to dive in. But real quick, I do want to extend my apologies. There might have been a little bit of an audio hiccup earlier because I forgot that I'm on a PC. So if there were any audio bleeds, I apologize. I promise there won't be any more going forward. All right. So diving in, when last we met, Nixie Midnight and Sovereign were on the BJ. Remind me of the last name.
So BJ Carmine. Carmine.
Yeah.
BJ, however you want to pronounce it, that's what it is.
BJ Carmine's morning show, having a bit of a sit down with Wayne William. And there was some discussion about these suits. Sovereign had brought up the interesting question of why Wayne Williams' building was unaffected by these tremors that had rocked Minneapolis. But Wayne William had explained that all of his buildings are built to withstand any natural disaster, regardless of their location.
Seems sus. Because
he does not trust the rapidity with which Project Utopia has cleaned up the planet. And you were sort of just in the midst of some verbal sparring, and they had gone to a commercial break.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
Everybody Didn't he do like
Sorry?
He did like a stinger line at the end of it, right? Like there was a prompt for drama. I can't remember what it was, though.
There may have been a stinger line prompt for drama at the end, but as you are returning from commercial, B starts talking and says, welcome back. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us now, we're here speaking with Sovereign and Nixie Midnight from Nova Vigilance. And then she touches her ear and says, wait, what? Show us the feed in the office, or show us the feed in the studio. And it cuts, and there's kind of like a noisy, sort of almost psychedelic splash of color on the screen with the null symbol. And a voiceover that says, That's about enough of this dog and pony show. While some members of the Teragen may be content to verbally spar with their lessers, let it be known that the Aberrants will not stand for Mr. Williams' proposal. Any attempts to restrict Nova activity in Minneapolis will be met in kind. Broadcast cuts.
Was there a video of who that was speaking?
No, it was just the null symbol and a bunch of sort of noisy color. Do you have mega cunning?
I do not. Does anybody else? Do you?
Sorry, I missed the question. I had an audio hiccup on my end.
Oh, no worries. Do you have mega cunning?
Mega cunning? No, I don't.
Okay. All right. You can. Without access to mega cunning, it's obvious to you that they're using some sort of a voice disguiser. Like that part's clear, but you're not able to like suss out like the actual vocal frequencies within it. B says, I apologize.
Someone can in time.
B says, I apologize for the interruptions. Would either of you like to respond? And Wayne holds his hand out to Sovereign to indicate that Sovereign should take the first response.
Me? Well, we don't even know who that was. I don't know how we can necessarily comment on their statements, but they do make an interesting challenge to you, Mr. William. Well, while this dog and pony show is happy to debate with you, I am curious to see how your law officer suits will handle someone who doesn't want to be handled.
I can assure you that the law officers are prepared to deal with any threat, be they Nova or otherwise. You had expressed some concerns about them, and while I publicly can't share all the specs, again, due to the classified nature of it, in a show of goodwill and to hopefully so that you might inform your people of exactly what these are capable of.
People.
You are a part of the Teragen, are you not?
I'm just saying that what your verbiage is somewhat reductive, my friend.
Oh, I see.
There are a wide variety of opinions amongst the Teragen. We certainly don't
Exactly.
belong. I'm sure that you know this.
In fact, Nixie, do you find yourself really throwing in with the Aberrant faction?
Do you mean throwing in or throwing hands? Or hooves if I'm the pony in the song, I suppose?
Yeah, some of them do have freakish proportions and hooves at the end of their stubby little arms. Look, just because you've got a bunch of these, well, let's call them what they are, a-holes, wink,
Can we say that on more?
causing trouble doesn't mean that we're siding with them. Honestly, I doubt many of them would have cared if half the buildings in the city fell.
Well, on that we can agree. However, I would like to extend you the invitation. Why don't you and your lovely companion come down to the office? Come to WonderCorp today. We have a press conference at 5, but and I have an engagement immediately after. But until then, my day is remarkably clear. Why don't you come down to the office once we finish this discussion here and take a look at the capabilities of the armor yourself.
You say that you hand make them?
I do, yes. The process is
I.
intensive. And
Oh.
again, there are some questions that you might have that I'm not at liberty to answer publicly, but I may be able to offer a little bit more insight on such a visit.
I don't know. How's your calendar, Nixie?
I mean, quite booked as is typical. I'm not really sure that having a duel in your basement feels like the solution to a problem where I really feel like we need to be working together.
Oh,
I don't think the issue is whether or not your suits are powerful and capable of putting up a fight. I'm sure they are. They look very fancy. Work's a pretty and slightly slow art. However, I still think the core of the issue here is that we need to ensure we have all hands on deck, whether they're, slightly different hands or human hands.
well, having said that, I have no intention of having you square off in the basement of my building with one of the suits. I intended to show you the production.
That's fair.
The production process.
I imagine that your environmental stability measures can only handle so much.
They can handle
my
quite
apologies
a
for that
bit.
assumption then. I assumed that they would be up for it.
My intent was to show you what the suits are capable of and to discuss my plans for implementing them. I'm not opposed to proving myself to anyone who would stand to challenge my intentions or my abilities.
Well, and as usual, should those who come to challenge your intentions and abilities be from our neck of the woods, but a little too far off the deep end, we'll gladly stand between you and them. Hard to do if we're not allowed to, though.
None of my proposal impedes anyone, be they Nova or Baseline, from acting as a good Samaritan. That would be unfair. However, as I'll discuss in greater detail at the press conference tonight, my concerns are twofold. One, I do not believe the city of Minneapolis should be hiring Novas to serve as municipal defenders. I don't believe any city should. I believe putting that much power and responsibility on a single individual is foolish.
No, instead you would much rather give all of the power and responsibility to a single corporation with only profit to guide its motive, with a small and locally unaccountable trained militia armed with copyrighted technology. I'm sure that sounds so much safer than people you can meet on the news in the morning. Hi, what do you want for breakfast? Are we done here?
Well, maybe he has to buy a social media company first.
I believe
I hear that works out well.
I would never.
Okay, well, it didn't in 2022.
I would never make such folly. I understand that there would be accountability, but first of all, aren't the police just glorified government contractors? And secondly, I do believe the Second Amendment of our Constitution of this fine country does particularly empower the people to form a militia, right?
Well, I guess if that counts William Corp or whatever as
Wonder Corp, thank you.
Wonder Corp. Sorry. I just see the giant W. It does empower citizens to form a militia, but what that sounds like is a private army. I have to ask you, Those lawsuits, do they come in brown?
I believe this conversation's over. My offer does stand, though. He stands up and says, "Thank you for the time, B," and walks off.
Wonderful to get to meet you in person. Have an amazing day. Maybe we'll see you later. We'll have our people call you our people. I don't know how this works.
B
I don't really
says,
have people. I have a cell phone.
B says, "Well, that's all the time we have for this morning. But thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow." As the show is wrapping up, across town, Bianca, your character's doing what on a Friday morning?
I think she might have been watching TV.
Excellent. So just to bring you up to speed, yesterday the city was rocked by mysterious earthquakes. Though the cause of those earthquakes have not yet been discovered, there was some pretty severe damage. The second tallest building in town was brought down. Thanks to the intervention of both Nova Vigilance and Wonder Corp's law officers, the building was brought down safely and there were no casualties. But the government is still trying to figure out what caused these quakes. The pair of your fellow members of Nova Vigilance had gone on the talk show to discuss what had happened, and were seemingly, it was pretty clear to you that they were ambushed by the presence of Wayne William, the owner of the company of Wonder Corp, who is responsible for these lawsuits, and for proposing a city ordinance that would effectively outlaw Nova City Defenders, but also prevent any organized action by Novas within the city. So, for example, Team Tomorrow would not be able to operate within the city because it is an organization of Novas.
Yeah. So I imagine Aurora sitting there eating her breakfast, forgetting to eat her breakfast, just kind of cheering and screaming and trying to partake in conversation with the TV, even if she's all by herself, because she's that excited.
Excellent, excellent. What would have, let's assume for the sake of narrative that during the course of the quake you were helping people locally where you had been in your secret identity. So you didn't really get a chance to hook up with the others. But at this point, you see they're off camera now. What would you like to do as at the end of the show for Aurora?
Well, she's pumped. I'm freaking pumped. I have to do something. This is like a call to action for her. Because, man, that dude, he sucks. And
Sucks.
yes, there was lots of those kinds of screamings and wanting to have popcorn simply to throw it at the TV, but she had cereal and it was wet and soggy, and that's not really the best thing to throw. So she has this built up frustration and energy of like, oh, I need to do something. It's like, this is wrong. Novas are we're amazing. Come on, we can do great things. We did good things. What is this dude on about? I don't believe any of this. And I want to prove him wrong.
Excellent. You do have means of reaching out to Sovereign and Nixie. You probably, I would assume you have their phone numbers, if nothing else. So you're free to call and text them if you choose. Or you're free to just go out and patrol and blow off steam. Or you're free to go to a day job. Whatever Whatever feels most natural for Aurora.
I mean, she did talk a lot to her TV. She wants to kind of talk about what happened. It makes sense that she would then reach out. So probably starting a group chat, ranting about what an a-hole that guy was, and just starting to get ready and just say that she wants to meet up because she wants to do something.
Excellent. So the two of you, as the show wraps up, and with once Mr. William is clear, B says, "I am so sorry about that. Mr. William owns controlling interest in the company. He forced himself on the show. I had no recourse."
It seems like just the type of thing that he's going to be doing when he has controlling interest in the police force, then.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled about it.
You give a man the ability to force his way into anything, and he'll usually take it.
Well, again, I'm sorry I didn't mean to ambush you. I hope this doesn't sour our relationship any. You are muted if you were talking,
good.
Nixie. I saw lips, but I didn't know if you were talking to us or if you were talking off camera.
Oh, sorry. I was coughing.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So right about that time, both of your phones indicate a text message coming in. You both vibrate a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Go take a
Yep,
look.
yep.
Is it a text from Bianca's character?
It is a text from Aurora just ranting. This dude sucks. What the hell?
Like, I think Nixie's actually going to read this out loud. Hey, that dude sucks. Like, really? You know what? And when she's right, she's right. And her, she's basically always right.
I think it's more like sucks.
Is it? Oh my, I'm just not hip with the lingo.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's like 7 U's.
What
9
do 7 U's. It's hard to figure out.
I'll tell you what I do with
Text
7
you back,
U's.
oh my god, you were so right. LOL emoji.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, Mega sucks, right?
Do you think we should?
Mega sucks. I don't know.
Well,
She would go with
Well,
the sucks.
well, BJ, I think we're gonna get out of your hair, which looks lovely, by the way. Whatever you've been doing, your team's just on point.
Thank you. That's entirely Trina and makeup. You should. I look like a dragon when I come in here in the morning.
Well, it's, now you're the one slaying. Wink.
Hey. All right. Always a pleasure. Take care.
All right. You make your way out. And where would you like to coordinate a meetup, I guess?
I think where's do we have a meeting place at all?
I mean,
Nixie has an apartment. It's probably a pretty okay one with Well 3, and that could be an okay spot to meet up.
Well 3 could be a nice spot. You could have like a hidden room behind a closet, like the apartment from Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Oh God, yeah.
That sounds good. Oh, secret room, but the secret room is just like a little very, very highly maintained garden with moon themes everywhere and like a cafe. There's no equipment or anything.
This is a really weird sex room, Nixie, but I'm down for it.
10 years ago about like hero activities.
Excellent. I love it. All right. So you all make your way to Nixie's apartment, to the group hideout. We'll say it's probably around 11 a.m. by the time you're all there.
All right. What do we do about this shithead?
Well, we could drop by the office, but let's talk to Aurora first.
Fair.
Assume if I'm returning to my apartment, I will switch back into the mild-mannered Celine Swarovski, who is in no way mild-mannered and basically the same person without a cool mask on.
All right, fine. In
Most
that
pleasant
case,
disguises.
in the guise of man.
Fuck this guy.
Right, he's just the worst.
What up?
And he's gonna say a bunch of stuff I'm not sure if Onyx Path wants me to say on stream.
That's fair. That's fair.
A lot of things that make him sound like he learned his language from the Australians.
Nice. Nice. You do make your way there. All of you then, I assume, in your dormed down forms. Is Aurora remaining dormed down as well?
Yes.
All right, excellent. You get in, you get yourselves some coffee, and you are free to discuss your plans and motives and ideas.
So you saw that whole shit show?
Oh, it was ridiculous.
Oh, I mean, he was absolutely awful. What, like, I mean, I haven't really done the whole TV stuff like yet, and so, but it just seems that it was like not at all planned, like that he was supposed to be there,
Oh.
right?
Oh no, he crashed.
Yeah, he bought the company.
Oh,
Real-
What a creep, hey? Hey, what do you two want for coffee or tea?
I already have a latte. I picked one up on the way here.
Where did you? I was with you. Sovereign. When did you? Oh my goodness.
I have the
thought I was
mobile app.
teleport.
No, it was
Right.
delivered by drone.
Oh right. I hate
Say what
those
you
things.
will about Maxwell Mercer, but you know his coffee drones from Project Utopia. They're eco-friendly and kind of tasty. Not the
Didn't ask if
drones.
the coffee's any good.
I mean, you can have some if you want. Just don't get lipstick on it. I don't want to look,
Too cute, of course, of course.
Mhm.
No, I'll have my own. Has like ridiculously expensive, ethically sourced coffee from like Bolivia, but it's mostly like it's probably just actually like cheap schlock, but it's like heavily marketed and branded that way, which is very into.
I picture some corporate farmer in Ethiopia just like sorting the beans and like just with a shovel. And it's like one goes to like Mercer Co., the other goes to whatever company you're buying from in two different barrels next to each other.
Oh, that's so sad.
Not unlikely. Not unlikely.
Exactly.
Not unlikely.
That's so sad.
It's not Juan Valdez and his trusty goat, like,
It is not, in fact.
or not Juan Valdez, who
That was Juan
you know what I'm
Valdez.
talking
Yeah,
about.
you
Was
were
it
right
Juan
on
Valdez?
right on the spot. Yep.
But wasn't the Juan Valdez also something else?
That's entirely. It's not impossible.
The oil tanker?
That's the Exxon Valdez you're thinking about.
Oh, okay.
Slightly
Unrelated.
The goat crashes into the ocean.
Right.
There's a spill of brown liquid. The fish are super hyped though.
Right. One of them is just good coffee. The other one was an ecological disaster that we're still, I think, working on getting
Yeah.
The best part of waking up.
It's going back to sleep.
Oh.
So Aurora
Not if you take a sip of the water. No,
Aurora probably says that she wants coffee, but that usually means she wants syrup that tastes very slightly like coffee.
I feel like at this point, Celine/Nixie knows very much what you like in your coffee and is judging you deeply on it, but would never tell you that, and will happily make you exactly what you want.
It's like a cup of like vanilla syrup or like, I don't know, like caramel syrup and then just like a splash of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She probably
Like your
stocks
single
the things you
shot.
like specifically just in case you're here for coffee.
Nice. Excellent.
So, we have been extended a very rude invitation to drop by his office if we want to. Or we could just go hang out in the city and do more useful things. I'm not sure what you two are feeling.
Honestly, like I
kind of want to fuck him up, but I don't know how we can do it without just, becoming, I don't know, terrorists.
Well, I mean,
We're Teragen, but we're not. We're not that Teragen,
Yeah, we're not terrorists, Jen. Yeah.
But then again, the Null Manifesto does kind of state, and I quote, "Punk the bitches that step up." I don't know if that's a direct quote from Mal,
right,
but
that is in there.
Wait, what does that
Paraphrasing.
mean?
They step up, we put them down. It means take the low road.
Low road.
No, I'm not entirely
Is
sure.
this because you're Australian?
I'm not Australian. I'm what?
Oh, sorry, Austrian. Or I'm not sure. Sorry. She's not very book smart. She's kind of dumb.
I moved up here from outside of Chicago.
Oh, well, it's just that sometimes you say things and they're opposite, and they say that Australia's upside down. So when you said low road, and I'm like, well, we're better.
I just meant we punch him in the dick.
High road. Oh, yeah. We should do that.
Well, I mean,
he's gonna look at her with like that whole. How did this junior? Okay, sure, okay.
I love you too. All right. So I guess important question. Are we going to follow up on this invitation? Do you want to come, Aurora?
Oh, hell yes. But
If
I'm
we
also a bit like, we want to be smug about it, right? So we should probably not, show up right away and be too easy. And so it's yeah, we're so busy. We have to, be good people, unlike you. And so it's rude to not accept an invitation. So we did come after, saving a lot of people first.
Yeah, you didn't make us come. We came on our own, on our terms.
Well, hey.
I mean, and you almost certainly had some ulterior motive for getting us in his building.
Yeah. We came when we wanted to. We went inside on our own volition, and I don't know how to make this entendre work anymore.
Are you being distracted by sexy? Because I didn't think he was attractive at all.
I'm giving you an extra cookie, Aurora.
Oh, thank you.
Speaking of, I have cookies. I got macarons.
I mean, I'm normally, when I'm in my real body, I'm pretty fucking attractive.
Okay. I mean, sure, but weren't we talking about the mean dude?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were putting me. Okay, never mind.
No. And you're adorable just like this too, Savi. I won't pinch your cheek.
So do we want to go there and give him trouble or what? Because he's got his press conference. We were going to crash it. I mean, he crashed our press conference, kinda.
Yeah, but doesn't it feel a bit desperate though? It's like calling first after a first date. You kind of want to wait a bit.
Well, yeah, but if he's gonna Pete Davidson our name all around the press anyway, we might as well show up, right? Is that still a topical reference?
No,
I mean, I figured it.
A decade's not gonna slow down Pete Davidson.
Yeah, I was about to say, after he slept with Hillary Clinton, it kind of just was. No one's mother is safe. No one's grandmother is safe.
Oh.
What? I have no context for any of this. I'm deeply confused. I love
Pete,
this.
just Google Pete Davidson memes. That's all you need to know.
Okay, will do.
All right.
So what do we do?
Well, I mean, I feel we already sort of had our little press conference. I don't necessarily feel that we have to crash. I wouldn't mind popping into the building to take a look around the place a little bit. But if we do, we'd have to be very, very careful because unfortunately this time we would be meeting on their terms. Or we could instead spend the day assisting with the cleanup effort post-earthquake and make a whole
Boring.
video about that instead. Right.
We have a janitor class called Humanity for that.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. They're not all janitors.
No, some of them are maids. You need someone to do the turn down service.
Oh, they have cute outfits sometimes, though.
Right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Overalls and French maid outfits. That's where we're headed.
The two genders.
The two genders.
Maid, but
Right.
Aren't you basically a maid in your costume?
excuse me, it's not a costume. That's offensive. And
So you're coming through a little quiet. I think I missed what you said there.
never mind. Ignore me. I'm not at all
Oh.
upset by the fact that he said costume when.
Well, what would you call it? Your persona? It's your outfit.
Outfit is better than costume. Costume kind of indicates that
I'm
it's
not
like
trying to demean you. For fuck's sake.
budget quality, and I'm not really about that.
I didn't say you got it at fucking Spirit Halloween. Okay, it's a superhero costume. It's not a sheet with some eye holes cut in it. Okay? We're not in the South.
What? This group is getting absolutely nowhere.
Just slamming her coffee, thinking about adding some Baileys to the next one.
This is Teragen infighting at its finest. I love it.
God.
Look, do we want to okay, so we could go there in person.
Mhm.
We could go there as our dumbed down versions and say that we're there for legal reasons, or I mean, you said our people would reach out to their people. We could be a consulting group that was hired and go in person, or we could just show up in our real forms and mess them up.
The main or show up in real forms to bring some class to the place. See what sort of
Well.
inside information we can abscond with while we're there.
Fine, but what time should we go? It's like 11:30 now.
Oh, I definitely want brunch first. We gotta get brunch. Or at least I gotta get brunch. You two are invited, of course.
Are we doing like a relaxed brunch, or are we doing like a publicity brunch?
Oh, relax. Food.
What's the
I
publicity
only had this
one?
weird like veggie milkshake so far today. Before going on TV, I gotta have something actually nutritious.
The publicity brunch. That's a tongue twister, right? The publicity brunch.
It is, yeah. Publicity. I want that. That's like a great band name, actually.
Might be where I stole it. Is where we go in our normal bodies, like where we're just a bunch of superheroes having brunch or falafel or whatever, you know?
I mean, I'm here for that too. I always like an excuse to dress up.
Yeah, I mean this body itches all the time anyway.
I mean, there's like skin creams that may help with that.
It's not that. It's just it's too tight.
Okay.
So if you don't mind making it a bit of a publicity thing, you know, signing some autographs, getting some photos as Nixie Midnight.
That is like the last thing I will ever mind doing. So let's get some nice public brunch somewhere nearby and then saunter on over into the building in front of as many cameras as we can acquire.
Ooh, this is awesome. So, Do you have any advice on how you actually like write autographs and such? Because I've been trying to practice, but it just keeps coming out different every time.
Just try to make it focus on the first letter, and that's about it of each word.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Just put a real pretty A in there, and the rest of it doesn't really matter.
I guess you've got, so are you going to do like a cursive A? Wait, do you kids still learn cursive?
I don't think they do. No.
But you know how to do the it's like the at symbol.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been trying to do, but it sometimes turns into an oval, and sometimes it looks more like a triangle.
I mean, you could just do like a ba ba ba, kind of like a, well, I got some ideas. Hold on. And he's going to pull out a piece of paper and start doing some doodles about how he thinks that her logo should look.
Ooh, that's pretty. That looks like a star.
Yeah, exactly. If we start with an A and we go, blah, blah, it'll basically look like a star that is going into your name. Plus, it's pretty geometrically easy. You start from the same spot every time.
Awesome.
Why did I work with a branding firm when I could have just talked to you? Goodness.
I took commercial law.
Who did you? Yes, I know. You tell me every day.
I was almost a lawyer, and then I got the mumps.
Yeah.
So Aurora's now going to be pretty busy just writing, so she will like blindly follow after whatever decision that you guys do while she is like doodling and trying to make the perfect signature.
Excellent. So do you
Well,
intend
sounds
to
good.
suit up then?
Yeah, I think we should suit up and then go find a nice
Maybe we
brunch
should suit up.
place.
Excellent. Aurora, please describe what the camera sees when you dorm up and assume your true form.
So I think that she might be a little bit of a camera nightmare because true to name and to her abilities, she starts to glow is the like mild version of it. To others, it might look like her hair is a bit of a beacon.
Okay. So your hair begins glowing.
Yes.
Any further changes in your transformation as you assume your superhero form? Speed lines, things flying out of places and forming?
No, but it would pretty much be part of the marketing material. I think if you were to have a cartoon show, she has lots of it. Like she has already like a 2-pager of her transformation sequence, but in reality, it is a bit boring. She's just hair starts to glow, eyes might be a little glowy, and the rest is just the outfit. But she has a proposal for the magical girl transformation when she becomes big enough to have her own cartoon show.
I love it. And what's the costume look like?
I think it is mostly like it's very bright, both orange and yellow. She really needs a marketing team to help her because it is a bit of a disaster, but
Excellent.
she might be a bit hyped up on this whole new thing that has opened up for her. So she's making a lot of weird newbie mistakes.
I love it. The glow emanates from her hair, her eyes light up, and the costume sort of goes bottom to top, almost like a band of light as the costume appears. Nixie, walk us through the transformation.
I have a quick question for Aurora, though. Is the costume sort of changing a little bit every time? Like, are you making adjustments to it basically every time we see you?
Oh, hell yes. It might be that one day it has a big fat ribbon in the middle, and then the next day she decides that, you know what? that was hella inconvenient. I might just go for little ribbons here at the shoulders instead. And then sometimes it's just like it got ripped off, and when the costume went in for repair, I used the word costume. Do not tell her that. It's some details get lost, and so it's just like it is a ever-evolving nightmare and a PR team.
It's a living document, but a costume. A living costumant. That works.
Living costume. I love it.
Right. So, I mean, Nixie's whole thing is basically her taking her hair down. So she's going to take her hair tie off and the whole thing comes down in sparkling little silvery moonlit strand. I kind of like the idea of her using her powers for dramatic effects, which no one will ever see. So sort of like a shimmering, hardened light image of a crescent moon appears behind her, and black moonlit ribbons come to cover parts of her body strategically while her little costume forms around her. She looks very much like a magician with a little mask on, though, and really nice boots.
I love it. And Sovereign.
All right, everybody, give me some.
All right, everybody, give me some space.
Grabs a wheelie chair, pulls it out of the way.
He does his traditional cry of "I'm the king of the world," and then there's this shockwave of energy that kind of just. And his U-fiber outfit will just kind of explode out of the cheap J.C. Penney button-up that he's wearing that day, which he honestly should just take it off, but it's too much for him, and turns into this hulking 6.5 foot tall Adonis, basically looking like every modern interpretation of Apollo, but stacked on top of The Rock's body type of thing, dressed in skin tight purple and gold with the Null Manifesto symbol here, and his own symbol, which is probably an S with a crown on top of it or something.
Nice. I love it. It means hope, Lois.
It means
you complete your transformation, and all of you head out into the city. As you're making your way to a nearby bistro to grab some brunch, you all do clearly notice a few of the law officer armors flying around overhead.
Hey, look, they fly now.
Why don't you... it's very clear to you that they are using some sort of... the ones that are flying have on boots and gloves that do not match the ones that you've seen on the ground. So it looks like these are an add-on, perhaps, or an additional upgrade.
Boots and gloves not included with the basic action figure from the looks of it.
And I'd like each of you to go ahead and give me a science roll, if you don't mind. If you in fact have dots in science, and you may pair that with whatever attribute you would choose.
If we don't, what do we do?
Technology.
If we don't, what do we do?
I have technology.
Don't worry
I got
about
a
it if you
little
don't,
science.
because there's no way you would figure this out.
What is my target number here?
Your target number is 7, as you have
so I have
assumed
1.
your Nova form. Excellent. And any on your technology roll there? And you get to choose what attribute were you pairing with your science, by the way?
Oh, I just paired intellect with it.
Excellent. And Bianca, for Aurora, what attribute would you like to pair with technology?
So, what would be reasonable, because my intelligence is 1, and
It'd be
that is the lowest I have.
intellect or cunning. Cunning could apply.
Or cunning, I have more in. Okay, so how does the die rolling work? So I have 2 in technology and 3 in cunning.
So you would roll 5 dice. You're looking for 7s or better. If any of the dice come up a 10, then you may re-roll that die and try for another success. If you get no successes and a 1, that is considered a botch.
Whee! Oh, so what happens if I get 1, 1, and 1, 10?
Then the 1s don't matter unless you roll no successes.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and re-roll that 10, see if you get another success.
Yes. Okay. So it was above 7.
Excellent. So that's 2 successes. So as you're looking up Nixie, you are pretty sure you recognize that they're moving in some sort of a pattern, like maybe a search pattern or something along those lines, like they're looking for something. Aurora, you recognize it as being similar to patterns that the FCC used to use to triangulate pirate radio stations. So,
How on earth would she know
awareness of
We saw
technology.
Media binging.
You watched Pump Up the Volume as a kid. There's a lot of ways you might know that.
Oh, okay, cool. Yes, movie reference. I can believe she would know.
And you realize they're trying to triangulate something.
So she would be very excited in sharing this because it is truth in television. She's seen this before. It is a pattern where they with triangles that they they find things. They narrow the search down in triangles.
I think you're right. I wonder what they're looking for.
They're doing what now?
Oh, they're looking for something clearly up there. Where did you? Sorry.
There's another drone! I have a high metabolism in this form.
As you
So many empties.
continue your trek and make your way to the bistro, you notice there's a significant gathering of paparazzi outside the Wonder Court building already.
Oh, is the bistro like across the street from the Wonder Court building?
Yeah.
So I would love to dramatically wave at them and then promptly do a dramatic step away from the building and into brunch.
Excellent. They snap some pictures. A couple people shout some questions. You can't quite make out what they're saying from across the street. But you go in.
Maybe!
You go inside. It's relatively busy in here. It's a lot of executives. There are, this is a corporate neighborhood. Most of the buildings here are like office buildings, lawyers' offices, things like that. So a lot of suits and ties. But they certainly find you a table right away and provide you with a delicious brunch. Nobody seems to be particularly off-put by your presence. In fact, a couple of the staff you can definitely see sort of like looking at you and like excitedly kind of pointed in your direction. You see a couple of the patrons kind of looking at you, but nobody really wants to like come over and interrupt you. I love the copper fork. That's what we're going to call it.
The Copper Fork, yeah. Sorry, I always have to come up with a dumbass name for a restaurant whenever I'm in one in game. The Copper Fork.
And aside from enjoying your meal, are you going to engage any of these people that are kind of being looky-loos but not coming over to you? Or are you just going to kind of enjoy your meal?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Would love to. I mean, if those folks were like looky-loo style, Nixie would love to be like, hey, do you come here often? I'm looking for what's best on the menu. What do you think? And really just like starting conversation with random locals and trying to like, make friends with everyone.
Oh, the feta flatbread is amazing. And they start really going into everybody kind of that you speak to offers a recommendation of food. In fact, one of the bus boys like stops at your table and says, like, "I'm really not supposed to do this, but I would love if I could get an autograph from you."
Oh my goodness,
You know what?
absolutely. Hey, have you met Aurora before?
I have not. Are you a new member of this team? I've been following you on the news. I saw the news feed from yesterday, and you all did an amazing job saving that building. Thank you.
No, I thank you.
You're welcome.
We do our best. But this is someone whose signature you definitely want to get. Trust me on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
An up and comer.
He reaches in and pulls out like a placemat, basically like a fresh paper placemat, and holds it out. And he's like, "This is all I have. Sorry, but I would love it if you would sign it."
Oh my god! She's like so excited, eyes are sparkling, and it's like her dreams have all come true, and this moment that she's been waiting for, and she signs it, and I think I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll just because I like the. Oh god, it does not turn out well at all. It's a bit shaky. Instead of a star, it almost looks more as a weird little flower bubble. And now she's like, "This is the signature I'm going to have to go with for the rest of my life."
He says, "This is beautiful. Thank you. Can you make it out to Kirk?"
Sure.
And you sort of shakily write to Kirk on it.
Yeah.
And he slides it around to Sovereign and Nixie as well.
Happily signed.
Excellent.
Little heart in the eye and the name.
He says, "Thank you, thank you." And as soon as he's, can I take any of your plates?
That would be great. Thank you very much.
He starts sort of
Really appreciate it.
pre-clearing the table. And as he does, you have a pretty clear vantage on the front of Wayne Corp. Woo! Freudian slip, don't sue us. On the front of Wonder Corp, from the window that you're at, you have a fairly clear view. And you see all the paparazzi sort of start rushing in toward the door. Somebody's coming out of the building.
Of the building or where we are?
Of the building, of the Wonder Corp building. Somebody's coming out that they seem very, very interested in.
I wonder what's going
Gonna
on
see
there.
if I can spy who that is.
Sure, give me a cunning and integrity.
Sure. Oh gosh, well, 2, and then almost every other dice was a 1. Goodness.
That's all right. The successes are all
7,
that
8,
matter.
and like 4 1s. Cripes.
All right, Sovereign.
Which role was it? It was
Cunning integrity.
Oh yeah, integrity, eh?
I would also allow cunning culture if you would prefer.
Oh, actually, let's do that. One sec. That means that I get some dice rather than. Ooh, actually, no, I'm pretty good at. Oh, I'm 1 point higher. 1 success.
Beautiful. And is Aurora going to roll as well, or?
Okay, so checking once again, it's 1 die per dot,
Yep.
essentially.
That is correct.
All right.
And do you have mega cunning?
I do not have mega cunning.
Okay.
But I ended up with 4 successes.
Excellent. So as you're looking out, Sovereign, you can barely make it out. You see that there's a woman with red hair in like a power suit, like skirt suit.
Okay, so
Very well.
I was like,
Yeah, no. Like a executive power suit, not like a Iron Man costume. But you can't really make out any details. Nixie, you can recognize that the woman is red-haired, wearing the suit. You can tell that she looks by her body language frustrated. but you can't quite recognize who she is. You're a little too far away. Aurora, however, you're spot on. You're like absolutely recognize her immediately, probably due to watching a lot of television and seeing her on the news a number of times. This is Margaret Mercer, the chairwoman of the Aeon Society.
All right. Probably will slip in a comment on what kind of suit she thinks she's wearing, like the brand of it.
Looks like it's actually a Avonscamp.
In real life, I am really bad with brands.
That's
so
all right.
to me,
Avonscamp isn't a
it's
real
just-
brand, so
Oh, okay.
that's a Nova designer. Famous for changing her models' costumes while they're on the runway.
Ooh, I like that. That's probably why I know that.
Yeah, she moves at super speed so that like between steps she can change her models' outfits.
Right. Aurora probably will mention all of this to her friends, including the whole runway details and the previous outfits that she's worn and which ones were her favorites and which ones she thought came a bit across as flat. And we'll continue to talk about this until someone stops her.
So much for him doing all of his creation in-house. Do you think we should have a quick bump in with Miss Mercer?
We should mysteriously find ourselves at the front door. We were invited. We may as well go. Here, I can settle
right.
up here. I'll catch up with you two. If you're in a rush.
Oh.
Hey, Nixie's
Thank
also
you
going to
very
sign
much.
like the tip because she's cringe.
Of course.
Yeah.
So as Nixie's buttoning
Does
up,
Nixie have a Nixie Midnight credit card?
I mean, absolutely. But she's tipping in cash that she signs.
Okay.
And she takes her cash specifically to do this. So she can tip 22%.
Defacing
with a
government
signature on
property.
it.
Beautiful.
Exactly.
I love it. So while
It's
Nixie's
a secret little game to see if people will actually use the money or hang on to it because it's got a signature on it. See if she starts encountering more bills with her name on it than not.
are,
Too
Bills,
easily
bills,
entertained.
bills.
so are you just gonna leave that tip, or are you gonna wait and let the other two go? I guess I was a little confused by that. Are you just leaving the tip behind?
Oh
and
no,
then
she's gonna because I'm not sure if we have the bill and stuff already. So just let these two go as quick as possible, and then settle up and leave a nice tip, and then catch up with them. But if we're all ready to go, then we can just go.
All right.
Just drop a wad of cash. Let's go.
You make your way over, Sovereign and Aurora, while Nixie's waiting. And as Margaret's making her way to the curb, there's a car pulling up for her. It's very clear to you that the car is on autopilot. There's no driver. And
Excuse me, Miss Mercer.
she stops and looks up at you and says, "Oh, hello."
Funny seeing you here. Had a meeting with Mr. Williams, perhaps?
I did have a meeting with Mr. William. I'm not
My
particularly...
condolences.
Thank you.
You appear to be as pleased as I was when he joined us on a morning show this morning.
Oh, I saw that on the way in. Terrible thing about the Aberrant activists hacking the show. You have any idea who might be behind that?
Not off the top of our heads, but if you have any intel with your super tech, it'd be something that we wouldn't mind looking into. We're not really very big on the aberrants.
I'm aware. I've been briefed on your organization.
I know a bit about yours as well. So, I was just wondering, obviously you can't disclose any type of secrets, but I'm guessing that Project Utopia doesn't really have a hand in any of the gadflies they're sending around.
Well, I can't speak directly to Utopia. I let Justin Larragone handle that. I trust his judgment implicitly. And we do have a bit of a crowd here. She looks back kind of with paparazzi. But I'm happy to let you know that I was here to discuss Project Utopia's UN tech oversight with Mr. William, and he wasn't exactly receptive. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some meetings I need to get to.
Of course, of course.
She hops into the back seat of her car and takes off.
You know what? Sovereign will even get the door for her if that's the thing. Like, we'll just, to do the little shut. Oh, watch your feet, little lady.
She nods and says thank you.
Even though the door is automatic, probably.
Right, exactly. As she leaves, both of you recognize that you didn't register any like conscious discomfort while she was there. But when she leaves, you feel a slight, almost like a pressure has been released. Like a mild headache has passed as she leaves your presence. And right around that time, Nixie comes up. And now the paparazzi are focusing in on you all. If you come to answer Mr. Williams' invitation, what's your relationship with Project Utopia? What's your relationship with the Aeon Society? Who are you wearing?
Oh my God, we'll happily talk about all of those questions. I think Nixie's not going to walk over because she can teleport.
Oh, sure.
So let's make it a bit more dramatic and do a little poof in a cloud of like little stars and sparkles. Be like, hey, sorry I'm late.
Beautiful.
Oh. Not a problem at all.
Okay.
No, she doesn't. Apparently, the UN oversight didn't really work out.
No, that's deeply disappointing. Well, sorry, paparazzi questions. Hi. So I'm wearing blah, 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 blah. And what are you wearing? What are you doing here today? It's so wonderful to see you all. Have y'all met Aurora before?
Why don't you give me a let's do like a performance or command?
Sure. Da, 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 da. Where are... Oh my gosh, I just completely missed the entire like skills section. I was like, where are those skills? Actually, where's performance? Or is it just command?
Might be command. I might be using wrong edition knowledge. Hold on.
Okay.
So it'd be command or persuasion. I apologize.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so let's do, I don't know, is this presence and persuasion maybe?
That would be great.
Okay, so I'm looking for sevens. I have 3.
Oh, beautiful. And no mega attributes in play with that, correct?
No.
All right. You're definitely working.
Mega attributes are all like dex and stamina.
You're definitely working the crowd. They seem to be very interested in what you have to say, and as soon as you introduce Aurora start sort of pelting Aurora with questions. Aurora, would you like to give me a command or persuasion roll?
Yes, I have persuasion. Was there an attribute there as well?
It's whatever you feel you would best lean on in these circumstances. So it could be composure if you're just trying to keep your cool. Could be presence if you're trying to rely on your natural charisma, or manipulation if you're trying to play it close to the vest and kind of hide your true feelings.
In this case, it makes sense to me that it would be presence, because she would probably just want to appear friendly and just tell everyone to please keep your eyes on me as I try to make my way.
Excellent.
In real life, I have absolutely none of these stats, so it's just nice to meet you. Please look forward to the good things that I'm about to do.
Beautiful. Go ahead and give me that roll, and thank you for the hydrate. Audio proof.
It's okay. So, is the difficulty 7 still?
Yep. Target number will be 7 as long as you are in Unova form.
Great. I got 1 success.
Excellent. You are sort of flagging a bit, but Nixie is there to sort of step in and smooth the interaction every time it gets a little rough.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Actually, I have a mechanics question.
Sure.
So I'm not entirely sure how this. I forget what they're called. It's like one of the things that goes in brackets next to a skill.
Oh, specialties. Yes.
Yeah, specialties. So I actually have one in close combat, but I can't tell if it's only usable for close combat, which is fast planning.
So the way that specialties work is they're actually complementary. So you never use your specialty on the skill you have it in. It provides enhancement on another skill. So if you have a specialty in fast planning, you can, yes, apply that enhancement to your command roll or your.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just wondering if like maybe in the future, I don't know if I want to turn dice rolls backwards. It would have been functional to be like, go on, tell them what they want to hear, to then like lower the dice difficulty by 1 for a character following those orders. Does that work?
It doesn't lower the difficulty. It does add enhancement though.
Oh,
so you could so the way the enhancement works is it creates an automatic success as long as a material success has been given. So in this case, it would absolutely work that way. Yeah, you could use your fast planning to grant the enhancement.
Amazing, awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So
yeah, I was just looking at this earlier, going, "How does this work?" I'll have to figure that out at some point this game. I'm like, wait a minute, I probably could have used it here. It's awesome. Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. So I'll figure that in. All told, it's a pretty solid performance. Sovereign, are you doing anything to contribute to that discussion, or are you standing there and just looking majestic?
He's definitely looking majestic. I think he's just tossing in the occasional quip or non sequitur.
Excellent.
For the most part. Yeah, I think so. Maybe putting out slightly mega presence prevents it from coming off creepy, but otherwise would be creep vibes. The whole I wouldn't mind fostering a relationship with Miss Mercer.
You're gonna level
bullshit.
You're gonna level that mega presence, huh?
Mega presence.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and roll a command or persuasion at your leisure.
Okay.
And go ahead and add presence to that.
Okay.
And let me know how many successes you have.
That's 5 successes.
Wonderful.
On Mega Presence 1, so 15 successes?
So it is multiplied by 2, not 3. I misremembered.
Oh, okay.
So as your scale goes up, the multiplier goes up.
So only by 10 then.
Yeah, so they're eaten out of your hand by this point. Everything is good to go, and I will just make a note of that. The press is loving you. They're like, we wish you the best of luck in this meeting. Please come out here and let us know how it goes. The whole city is very interested in the developments happening here today. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. And you hear like one of them talking to their camera person, like, Sovereign and Margaret Mercer in a relationship confirmed.
There we go. I love it.
The paparazzi will engage you as long as you allow them to do so. So how long would you like to spend with those paparazzi?
5 minutes, 10 minutes, I think is the most that we could do before we would just.
Okay. You spend your 10 minutes. I was rolling a pool. That's all.
Okay.
Oh no! Oh
you spend your 10 minutes and then you make your way to the door. By now, the press has run wild with what you've said. The good news is that you have made some very, very formidable arguments and sort of shored up the support for Nova Vigilance in this local issue, which ultimately is the goal. The bad news is that thanks to the collateral pool, the tabloids have all taken this insinuation and very much begun running with it. You're getting, like, Aurora, I assume you have some sort of, because you're a bit of a media junkie, you probably have some sort of like news notifications on your phone. You get like a news notification that like People has run a speculative article about Sovereign and Margaret Mercer, and that N is trying to reach out to Margaret for comment.
I'll probably I'll be now away from the paparazzi. You at this point start to, or at a point start to make your way past them into the actual building itself. Yeah. So when it feels like it's socially acceptable at that time, I might look at my phone and go like, "Oh, they think you're boinking." Was that your intention, by the way? Because you kind of came across as a bit, that you kiss and tell. Did you?
What? Did I what?
Look at the article, I say, and show it to his face. Like, they say you're boinking. What the hell?
Wait, I don't look. Sovereign doesn't boink. Sovereign smashes.
I'm going to go ahead and add a momentum to the
Sovereign smash! Oh, God. Ah, no, all I can think of is the GIF. No.
You make your way.
If you know, you know.
At that point, you make your way to the doors. Security, when you walk in, there's a security desk. As soon as you enter, the security officer at the desk stands up and says, Mr. William is expecting you. He's in the research lab. If you just take the elevators down to the end, I'll punch in the code and let you down there.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we go.
You step in and start making your way down the elevator. You get down to sub-basement 4. The elevator door is open, and you can see this is a massive workspace. Probably takes up the entirety of the foundation of the building, and it's all open, but just filled with various gadgets and various suits in different phases of construction. And Mr. William is down there, effectively entirely alone. He's wearing a turtleneck and a pair of jeans, and you see him interacting with a holographic interface. And he sort of swipes it away as you walk in. I see you've taken me up on my offer. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
It would be a shame to turn down the hospitality.
So what do we have here? I noticed that you had some flyers up earlier.
Oh yeah, the suits themselves don't have flight capability, but he walks about 50 feet over to one of the many benches and picks up a set of gloves and boots and says, "These can be worn over the suit and provide limited flight."
Neat. I think that's very clever.
Repulsor? Interesting. What's the power source?
The power source. Tell me, how familiar are you with history?
History, quite a bit.
Excellent. Do you know who Dr. Hammersmith was?
Of course. So you're using what? Quantum?
To a point, yes. I'm using an energy that encompasses the quantum frequency, but goes a bit beyond that. In fact, I've just been in a bit of a row with Project Utopia. Still am in a bit of an argument with Project Utopia because they claim that they have some sort of oversight over this technology due to their UN mandate, and my lawyers and I disagree. You can plainly see there's no novas involved in the production of this technology. This is not Novatech, therefore it doesn't fall under Project Utopia's purview.
Interesting.
Well, I can understand the conflict for sure.
Well, let's see what these things can do.
Certainly. You want me to run you through the tech specs? He waves his hand and you see like a schematic come up of the suit.
Bacon.
Might be a little dry.
They give us something wet.
Oh my goodness.
He says, sure, how about this? And he taps his wristwatch, and the suit extends out from his watch and covering his body.
I'm gonna clap her hands excitedly. You have a little transform. Oh, I love it.
Thanks. This is my personal unit. Nobody else has this tech. But otherwise, the suit works the same. It allows me to lift a little bit more than peak human potential. It grants me the ability to withstand dangerous environments for extended periods of time. I can see the quantum energies surrounding each one of you.
You say that it allows you to lift a little more than human potential. But how does that work against somebody who can't be measured by human potential?
Well, allow me to show you. Tell me, you're strong, right, Sovereign?
I've been known to be.
Well, let's keep this friendly, but he puts his hand up. Go ahead and give her a shot. Don't hold back.
Are you sure that can you say for the cameras that I won't be held legally liable for this?
The security cameras in here are an internal feed, but sure, I will not hold you legally liable for anything that might happen.
I'll give him one at half strength, we'll say.
Okay. You are applying your...
Do you want me to roll for this?
I'll do.
I'll apply a point of Megamite to
Excellent.
this. I will hold back. So what do you want me to roll? Might and close combat, or?
Might and close combat, please.
Okay. So that's 2 successes with Megamite 1. So that'll turn into 4 successes on scale if that applies. I don't know if it does for this.
As you hit him,
So just biff.
you feel you put that, that Megamite stank on that punch, and his hand barely moves.
Ooh.
Says this technology includes quantum flux compensators. The more quantum energy you expel at these suits, the less effective it becomes.
Really? So that means if I just gave it a little bit of the regular, then I'll just give one without Megamite. I'm curious. So without using Megamind, oh god, I should have just done this to begin with. So that's 3 successes then. It was almost 4. Just 3 successes with just a regular no Megamind.
Okay.
Does it move more?
His hand definitely pulls back more, and he sort of shakes a little bit.
Huh. That's just the old being built different.
Your quantum output during that punch was nil.
Yeah, it was. Interesting. What about the? I'm curious what the what the end of your quantum compensation is.
Why did I build it?
No,
Or
no,
what-
like
or
what
what-
the end, what the limits.
I'm curious as well. My opportunity to test them has been somewhat limited, as we don't employ Novas even for contracting generally. But if you're willing to say donate some time, I could set up a sparring match. I probably wouldn't take personally involved with it. After all, I'm not going to be one of these officers. This is just for personal protection. You don't say the things that I say in public without having some sort of safety measures in place. He taps his watch again, and the suit retracts into it.
Well, unfortunately, I'm
man.
not particularly interested in providing you research data, but I am very impressed, and I look forward to a future where I hope empowered humans and Novas get to work together to keep everyone safe. Because it would sure be nice to have some of these things by my side instead of in my way.
But the thing of it is, and please don't take any offense to this, but what do you think we need protection from? From you.
Oh, all sorts of things.
Your people
I mean-
are dangerous. And for the record, I agree 100% with the Null Manifesto. You are different. And that you don't think that terrifies most of humanity? You don't think humanity
Well, I'm very
needs to
sure
be
it
able to
does.
defend itself?
I can certainly understand your perspective. I think it feels silly to be trying to prevent others from protecting you as well. I think that's all. I can understand the desire to have some sort of intercepting device versus the equivalent of a human nuclear missile, but we're not the only dangerous creatures here.
It's true. And what happens when these suits leak? You hand make them, but it wouldn't be that hard to disassemble and break them down to their component parts.
Well, it seems that Project Utopia wasn't able to do so, which is part of why they're breathing down my neck about oversight. All their Nova scientists couldn't figure out how to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. He points at a suit that's clearly been taken apart and put back together several times. I handed the tech over to Project Utopia. Feel free, take a look. They couldn't figure out how it works. We are different.
Interesting. Well, this is certainly not my expertise. Shoe brands, yes. Technological jumpsuits, no.
Here's the thing, though.
What
Humanity...
happened?
What?
No, please. Humanity what?
Humanity only has our technology, our wits, our human spirit to protect ourselves.
And your friends.
Unless we need to protect ourselves against those friends. And the fact of the matter is that while others may believe in the best intentions of Novas and believe the words of those among humanity that would offer empty, unverifiable assurances, I do not trust that things are going as smoothly as Project Utopia would like us to believe. There's been massive changes to the planet over the last decade, and we do not know what those side effects might be. We don't know if we can expect an increase in storms due to the terraforming that's been done. We don't know if we can expect landslides, difficulties, famines, because we have suddenly put half of the world's breadbasket in a place that was a desert when I was born. We don't know what sort of tectonic challenges this terraforming might cause, such as random earthquakes in the middle of Minneapolis.
It certainly is befuddling, that one.
Well, don't worry, my team's on it.
Hmm.
What were you saying, Aurora?
Could I make a bit of a check on this dude? Because I strongly disagree with what he's saying, and so I'm trying to get a good read on where his fear might be stemming from, because to her this sounds very much as like sophistry. It's like he is scared of novas and that they are inherently something to protect themselves against, but it's like she at least still views novas as humans, and there's a lot of othering there that she's like, I don't really like this.
Sure.
I kind of want to get to the root of where this fear is coming from.
And
maybe an attempt to manipulate him later on.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and give me a, let's say, let's go off of empathy, if you don't mind.
Yes, empathy.
And what attribute would you like to pair that off of?
Ooh, I'm just trying to figure out. I would say that it would be probably, it might be cunning, but then for the argument later on, if I can, because I have the little sweet specialization of rumor has it, and I kind of want to shake him a bit in his thinking.
Sure.
So then it would be empathy and manipulation, but it all depends on if I can actually get like a good read of where this fear is coming from.
Let's get that empathy cunning roll.
All right, and that is doop-a-doop. Let's go empathy. Empathy cunning. That's 7. Lucky 7. Oh. I got no successes and a critical failure.
Excellent.
Yes.
You will gain 2 momentum for that botch, and you are convinced that his motivations are purely out of jealousy. He feels that you're pretty sure this guy wants desperately to be a Nova so badly that he's willing to try to mimic your technology, your abilities through technology. You have a very that moment in Invincible. You see what it takes for them to mimic even a small fraction of our power. Yeah. That's the conclusion that you draw.
Ooh, what a teeny tiny little man. I must make a little bit of a slice on how hard life must be for him, since he must be so over encumbered with all this fear and worries.
Is that what you're going to say to him?
No, but I will try to make a plan where I can say something like that.
Very good.
Even if it's just posting something on social media and making a little bit of a slice that I think he's massively insecure. It's like the gears are turning. She has to do something at least.
Very good. And at that point, his watch beeps. He looks down at it and he says, my survey teams have some information for me about the quake. So if you'll excuse me, I need to head up to my office and take this call.
Of course. Well, thank you very much for meeting with us. It's always a pleasure, sort of.
Of course. Feel free to drop by anytime.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Just remember, as much as you want to be able to stand alone, which I can understand, you do have friends, and there are those of us who will stand with you, even if we're different. You don't want to discard all of your potential allies.
He says, well, based on that hack that took place during our television appearance this morning, you might be standing next to me closer than you think.
Strange.
Fine time.
For someone who owns a company like the local news channel, you'd think that your firewalls would be a bit better, given that. I just would have thought that your tech would have caught something like that.
Oh, I don't have the resources, time, or desire to fill every subsidiary with quantum detection technology, but my experts have assured me that the interruption of our signal did not take place through mundane means.
I see.
Mm.
Well, let's get out of your hair.
Of course. He says, elevator will take you back up, and he walks towards the back and steps into a private elevator that ostensibly goes directly to his office.
Well, this is pleasant.
Are there cameras here in the elevator? She says
Of
that she's
course.
typing out a very vague message on social medias.
There are, in fact, cameras in the elevator.
Might be throwing a bit of a glare towards them and not really voicing her opinion
Just
out
gonna
loud.
hope that Aurora can read lips and mouth, almost certainly microphones too. Elevator music. They should have elevator music in here. Come on.
You reach
We should
the...
have.
what's that?
We should have that that brunch band cover it. What was it? It was Publicity Brunch.
Publicity
Brunch.
You reach the ground floor and make your way outside the building. Are you going to stop to engage the paparazzi again on your way out, as they're clearly asking you a bunch of questions?
I think Nixie would very much like to. She wants to get her like key points across as often as possible.
Excellent. As you and the paparazzi approach one another, let's take our 5 real quick and
Sure,
handle our
sounds good.
biologicals and technologicals, and then we'll be back with the paparazzi.
Awesome, awesome. Well,
If
see
you're-
y'all in just a moment.
Yeah, if you're watching live, just hang back. If you're watching on pre-record, just fast forward, and we'll be back with you momentarily. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We have attended our biological and technological needs. We have returned. So, when just before the break, you were leaving the Wonder Corp building and meeting up with paparazzi out front. They start asking, how did the meeting go? What was was there any progress? Have you talked them out of this ordinance?
No,
Oh.
not yet. But I'm still hopeful that there will be a future where us and those, well, empowered mechanical men can stand side by side, keeping everyone safe.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Is there anything else that you wish to try to convey to the paparazzi?
I think I really think she's just going to hit her key points over and over a couple of times. We're all in this together. We're better with the focus.
Well, I mean,
on
we're not all in
things.
this together. I mean, it's not like Mr. Williams is abiding by, the UN conventions or anything.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So, you mean as a global scale? I'm sorry, I thought you meant about
as
as
a global
a.
scale. When
Oh,
in
of course.
crisis,
What
we're all
Yes, of
impacted.
course.
what UN rule do you feel that that Wonder Corp is violating?
No, we don't feel it. It seems like it's an issue with certain proprietary technologies that are being, universally handled by Project Utopia and the UN.
Is that why your partner was here earlier?
I probably shouldn't state her business, but I imagine she was trying to talk some sense into Mr. Williams. Unfortunately, I don't think that his law officer suits have audio capabilities, because he doesn't seem to listen.
Duly noted. Start writing down and talking into their phones and continuing on with the questioning. They will persist with questions as long as you permit them to do so. You definitely have, especially with that roll earlier, you're fairly certain you've done about as much damage to the argument and inserted as much doubt as you think you can through this.
I've got one more.
Sure.
I've got one more. Honestly, I have no problem with Mr. William wanting to try to do the best for humanity that he thinks he can do. But when self-proclaimed, oligarchs decide to make moves like this, you'll see. Soon, he'll single out a Nova, just one of us, and claim that we did something horrible so he can make an example of them to prop himself up. Watch, the lies will come. And with his media influence, did you know that he owns the media station that we were having our morning discussion on this morning? That's how he was just able to walk on. Whether or not it's public or not, he has a lot of power, and he'll flex that power in ways that are not so public. Say what you will about a Nova able to juggle a skyscraper, but at least we don't do it behind closed doors inside of executive boardrooms like some fat cats.
Your phone begins buzzing at your hip, Sovereign.
Yeah, one moment. I think it might be the little lady.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
You see,
Gonna die.
He's such a dick. I'm sorry.
you see the
Oh my god!
you see the caller ID says it's Tempest.
Sorry, I need to take this. Boop. Go for Sovereign.
Sovereign, are you in the middle of a press? Are you in front of the paparazzi? Can we talk somewhere where they're not going to overhear us, please?
Of course. One moment. Excuse me. And he's just going to jump to a nearby building.
We should excuse ourselves as well. Aurora? Offer
Yes, please,
Aurora a
let's
hand
go.
dramatically.
Let's go. Let's go.
And then teleport to the top of the building. A little poof of moonlight.
You're all on the rooftop.
You get zooped along a teleport if you're up for it.
Tempest says a couple things. One, I just got a call from Count Orazes. He wanted me to convey to you that the Pantheon is not in the habit of telling individual Terrets how to conduct themselves.
Yes.
But there are certain members of the Pantheon who wanted to express their displeasure with using Maggie Mercer as any kind of a churn for the rumor mill. Apparently, it is being frowned upon by several of them, and I was to convey their displeasure.
Oh, I'm not allowed to churn who I want to churn, huh? I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Tempest.
Hey, you can do what you want to do, and I got the impression that I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but Raoul implicated that it might have upset Divismal.
I'll quash the rumors immediately. You make a valid point. I didn't realize. Hey,
you don't have to explain it to
um,
me. No, I'm just letting you know you stepped in it a little bit. Having said that, I also did a little bit of intel, and I'm not 100% sure, but I'm reasonably sure I know who hacked that broadcast earlier.
How fucked am I on a scale of?
Oh, you'll be fine, Sovereign.
He's trying not to
I've screwed
hyperventilate.
than this before.
I thought you didn't fuck. You smashed.
I need you to make sure that it was just a lighthearted jest and I did no such thing. All right? Tempest, I did no such thing.
No, hey, it's your business is not my business. I'm just don't shoot the messenger. But the hack, we believe, may have been actually performed by a member of the Aberrant movement who was part of my cell before we formed Nova Vigilance. A guy by the name of Rootkit. He's extremely competent hacker, and he's from the Midwest, so he might have a personal vested interest in what's going on up there.
Named Rootkit.
Ooh, that's what you do with your phones, right? Isn't that illegal though?
Last interaction, that's jailbreaking. Last interaction
Oh.
that I had with him was in the woods outside of Nacita, Wisconsin, and he was wetting himself pretty much. But I haven't seen him since. I don't know where he went. But just a heads up, he is a technopath and a psychopath. So that's fun. And he hangs around with another Nova by the name of Brecken, who is he's a living hive of wasps. Probably not too big of a threat to you, but
I just pictured a bunch of like golfing polo shirt wearing miniatures floating around. Talking about Brud anyway.
I suppose we should update you as well. We're on speakerphone, right?
Yeah.
You hear us? Hopefully. Okay. I'm never sure. I never know how these things work. Cripes. So pretty confident our friends of the building behind us may be looking into some potential causes for the earthquake that might get them a scapegoat pretty soon. If you know what I mean.
okay. Well, the opening arguments are being made today in the People's Protection Militia case in Madison. So I need to make sure myself and my team are there to prevent any sort of aberrant activity on that. However, if you need backup, feel free to call, and I'll see if I can spare
Oh.
someone. Okay.
I'm sure we'll be okay. I just want to make sure you were informed.
Thanks for keeping me up to speed.
Don't want you to be surprised by any other developments. Pat Sauber on the shoulder.
Thanks. No, it was just weird. I don't usually get calls from Raul unless something is really right or really wrong. Break legs. Keep me posted. We'll talk soon.
Doodle-oodles.
She hangs up.
Toodle-loos.
You'll be all right.
Yeah, if I ever come across him, he'll probably squash my head like a grape.
Eh,
I like my head.
you're a pretty tough grape.
I'm
Bonk, bonk.
out. But fair.
Nixie, you get a text message.
Oh my gosh, I get a text message. Can you check my text?
It is, in fact, Rocky. It says, I'm in the basement. There's police outside.
Well, I'll be right there. How do you two feel about a small nosebleed?
Generally favorable.
You okay if we teleport to a lawn you've never been to, Aurora? Sounds good. A couple of boops. Let's do some teleports.
Excellent. You are teleporting to the lawn, or because
Has unfortunately not memorized the basement, so probably can't quite go to the basement, but can at least get to the area. I think it was sort of like she'd sort of like memorized like the street area, so might try to manifest like sort of on the front lawn, hopefully not in a cop car.
excellent. You are able to do so. And before we move to the next scene, just a quick FYI behind the scenes drop. Your collateral pool has been now reduced to 0 because I rolled the collateral
Yay!
pool after you made that mega dexter or the mega presence roll, and got a bunch of successes on it, which is why that rumor caught such fire. And I'm just flipping through to see if I can find the page number. Maybe I can't, but there's a particular page in the Aberrant book that shows. Yes, here we are. If you turn your attention to page 272 of Aberrant, you may have a little bit of insight as to why Divismal took a personal interest in your rumors.
I think I know out of character as a writer for Aberrant. As a writer for Hated and Feared, who did some work related to the people in this book. I know. I literally just read that comic.
Consequences of thine own actions.
There are supposed to be consequences. I'm a little god.
So having said all that, the collateral pool is now empty. Go ham for a while. You're good. So the three of you appear on the stoop, and there are, in fact, on the front lawn. There are, in fact, 6 squad cars and a personnel carrier, like a prison personnel carrier, sitting on the street, and there are 4 SWAT officers knocking on the door. You can hear Rocky's mom inside, like, unless you have a warrant, I'm going to need you to go away. And when you appear, the cops turn to you and say, we have this under control.
Do you now?
Yes, we would like to bring in this person in this house in for questioning.
I don't see how you're going to transport him.
They point at the wagon.
Will he fit in a paddy wagon?
If he crouches, probably. It won't be comfortable.
You're not sitting with us.
I don't know.
Who's not sitting with who?
He's too big.
So, look, gentlemen, what is this involving? Come on, you can be straight with us.
We received a tip that some quantum flux readings were triangulated to the cause of the earthquakes into some subterranean caves, which after we looked over the news footage, discovered the resident here, the person of interest, was pulled out from those caves after having erupted. By you.
Very true.
Now, if you would like to also accompany us down to the station and answer a few questions, that would be wonderful.
Sure. I mean, I just brought us over here because I just wanted to ensure that nothing violent happened to the individual in this house. I think he's been through quite a lot already. Glad to have rescued him, and I know how jumpy some folks can be when there's one of us involved.
So the man wants to defund you. The man wants to replace you. The man wants to humiliate you, and you're still listening to his lies.
We're Minneapolis cops, buddy. People have been wanting to defund and replace us for 20 years.
Yeah, but he's going to do it if you listen to him. You think he's going to give you one of those little super suits? Come on.
Yeah, maybe I might have to cut back on the donuts a bit.
They're so tasty, though. I know this little place. You know what? That's not important.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll if you would like to.
I would love to.
Are you going to be employing your mega presence in this?
Yeah, always. Although I might not need to. Jesus Christ. It's like the one thing he's good at, and it's like that's a base 6 successes.
All right, and your mega presence is at what?
Just one. So
okay, so so it's doubled at a difference of 1, tripled at 2. That's how it goes. It goes up exponentially. That's where I was confused.
Oh, okay. So kind of like Celerity and Requiem.
Almost,
right?
yeah.
Like it. Yeah.
So you've
Okay.
So what was your material successes? Was 5?
6.
6. So it's 12 successes. So the officers are like, all right, look, we need to be able to talk to him. We can bring in the detective here if he's willing to talk, or if you have a statement that you would like to give as to what was the cause of those earthquakes that I can take back to my boss, that's fine. None of us want to have this turn into a thing, okay? And so far, nobody's got a warrant. We're just trying to get some answers.
Sure. And so you're saying that the quantum flux was caused by our good friend Rocky, according to that report?
Well, we don't know. What we do know is that there were several quantum flux bursts that coincided with when the tectonic activity occurred.
That's true. I've already gone on record as stating that, and I'll state it again for you right here. The earthquakes struck. Our friend erupted. And in his eruption was able to stop the seismic activity. It's why he has rock powers. It's kind of all tied together that way.
And you're willing to support that theory and testify to such if if legal proceedings move forward?
Yes, of course. To the best of my knowledge, that is what happened.
He gets on, says, "All right, yeah, we got a situation here, Sarge. Well, I know it looks really bad for us to walk away without like taking someone into custody, but maybe that's what we should do here. Maybe that's the move."
I mean, I'm pretty confident. Be much more comfortable coming in to come down to the station, have a conversation. If he's not being escorted at gunpoint.
Are you saying you'll bring him down for interview?
I will certainly propose the option to him and see what his decision is. But I would happily accompany him and ensure that he is kept safe and that there is no jumpy fingers with alarmed SWAT officers on guns involved.
All right, everybody, fall back. The sergeant stops like as he's passing, so like his shoulders are like parallel to Sovereign, and looks over and says, "You know, if any of this, if this blows up in anyone's face, it's gonna fall back on you."
I've got a very strong jaw.
He nods and continues walking. The police desist. Rocky's mom opens the door. Everything okay out here?
For the moment.
Maybe if you could go down in the basement and calm Rocky down, that would be helpful.
You take care of it.
Best. Also, have you met Aurora? She's so wonderful.
Hi.
Just every opportunity.
She shakes your hand and says, "Thank you." So Aurora and Nixie are going in the basement. What is Sovereign going to do?
He's gonna kind of go down and just kind of hang in the background in case he loses, like, in case Bro loses his mind.
Oh, right, fair enough. Nixie and Aurora, you get down there. Rocky, he seems like he might even be a little bigger than he was the last time that you saw him, Nixie. He's about 8'2" at the moment. And you see he's got just very delicately holding a PlayStation controller, like playing like Call of Duty. Just the cops gone yet?
Nixie's literally going to take a notepad and take a note of that. When I walked in, was very gently and calmly holding a PlayStation controller, undamaged entirely, playing precision video games. Clearly a gentle giant. Noted. Yes, the cops are gone for the moment, but that doesn't mean the situation is fully resolved forever. How are you feeling? And also, have you met Aurora before? Aurora's like us. She's really wonderful.
Hi.
Hey, he waves. Well, I'm better at controlling my strength now. I can do this. This has really been helpful. Other than that, it hurts when I grow.
You're continuing to grow.
Yeah. And I got this happening. He stands up and turns, and you see there's like some kind of spiky formations appearing on his back.
Must make it rather challenging to sit in a couch.
He looks back at the couch, and you can see there's like holes in the couch where the spikes were. You can also see that the couch...
I'm sure we can custom build one.
It's really like couch cushions on the floor because it just sort of disintegrated where he had sat.
So, Sovereign's so much better at these words than I am. Okay, I'm going to do my best here. So the police really do want to have a word with you. They've been given some information that has led them to believe that you are responsible for the earthquakes. It is our opinion that, of course, that cannot be proven, and it's just as likely that you are responsible for stopping them. And even if it's the first case that's true, that's not your fault. So arresting you at gunpoint doesn't sound very good to me. So we're here to support you. But at some point, you will probably need to have a small conversation with the police. I told them I would accompany you if that's the case. We could go down in person. We could hang out, get some coffee afterwards, do our best to make it as nice and calming a situation as possible. But there is still something that will have to be done there. Does that make sense?
It does. And I've been thinking about it. I mean, I am responsible. I didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but my powers did that.
Well, you could be responsible.
What else would have done it
Insert
if it wasn't?
gaslighting here.
What else would have done it if it wasn't me?
To be honest, I'm unsure. This is outside of my area of expertise. Sovereign knows more about this stuff than I do, but all sorts
That
of things
Dick
possible
William.
like this.
My bet's on that Dick William. And then you're gonna hear like cool, crush on his. He's playing on his phone while this is happening.
Monster kill.
Monster.
Monster
Sweet.
Crush.
He's just playing Candy Crush, whatever is in Aberrant.
He says, "Well, I was
Candy Smash.
Yes.
told in my whole life not to trust the cops, not to talk to the cops.
Probably a good idea.
I really don't know what to do here because I do feel bad about it, and if it's going to make everyone else's life harder for me not to go talk to them, then maybe I should just go explain what happened."
Wait, no. I mean, it's I don't know. It's one of those things where you have like a representative with you or something, like a lawyer dude, right? Because otherwise they'll just twist your words.
I don't got no money for a lawyer.
Yeah.
My mom had to
I
save
mean-
up for 2 years to get my PlayStation.
Wait, how old are you anyway?
19.
Well, we can do our best to help with the lawyer.
Well, at least by 2028, you should be able to find a PS5. Oh.
I feel we have to help somehow, right? It's this isn't like we can't just leave him.
I mean, we appeared here because I wanted to ensure, well, we wanted to ensure that nothing violent happened, no itchy trigger fingers happened, nothing like that, that we can all continue to like have a nice and calm and happy and peaceful existence and all of that stuff. And also because we don't think it's acceptable for you to be used as a scapegoat or a political pawn simply because of your eruption, regardless of whether or not you feel responsible or you feel unresponsible, or regardless of whether or not you did cause it or you prevented it. I have no idea. I was there and it's challenging to tell even in person. Again, however, Sovereign knows much more about this stuff than I do. Holds up buildings all the time. Really should be the expert on this. I don't know why I'm talking. Anyways.
Look, because you're better. Look, if you didn't fucking do it unless they saw you do it, okay? Even then, you might not have fucking done it.
He says,
That's
"Yeah,
so eloquent.
that's fair, but also..."
Look, can I give you some free legal advice?
Sure.
Shut the fuck up.
Are you a lawyer? Because otherwise you shouldn't be giving legal advice.
Look, I was this close to being a lawyer before I erupted. And that's the best legal advice I can give you. Shut the fuck up. Cops talk to you, shut the fuck up.
He says, "Well, my mom also said Project Utopia called.
Oh?
They invited me to go to the Rashaud Center. And they said that they could offer legal counsel if I needed it."
Well, that sounds like a lead, doesn't it?
What is it that you want to do?
I mean, I don't know. They said they have medicine they can give me that'll keep me from my powers getting too far out of hand.
What do we know about this and their legal counsel?
About Project Utopia.
Yeah.
On
Is
the
it pretty
Rashad
common
Center.
knowledge?
So yeah, super common knowledge. And in fact, in the next state over, there's a state law that requires all new novas to go to Rashad Center. Novas on erupting, well, at any time, a nova can go into a Rashad Center for medical evaluation at no cost. They can be given moxenquantamine, which is a drug that suppresses quantum flux, so it makes it harder to use your powers, basically, which makes it easier to control them when you first have them. The Teragen have a number of opinions on moxenquantamine. Everything from that's useful to why would you ever let a shorn primate reduce your reduce your potential with drugs. So the whole sort of gamut of opinions is in there. That there probably isn't a finer legal team on the planet than the one that Project Utopia can deploy.
Has anyone ever been successfully prosecuted for things that happened during their eruption?
Oh, people have absolutely been successfully prosecuted for things that have happened during their eruption. However, most of the time when that occurs, particularly if it occurs where that person has gone to a Rashad Center, Project Utopia is able to parlay any convictions into community service that's overseen by Project Utopia. In fact, that's how a couple of people have gotten membership in Team Tomorrow.
Well, it's certainly not a bad option for you. I mean, I'm hesitant on the drugs. I wouldn't want to dull you. But they do have very good legal support. They know what they're doing.
I mean, if it doesn't work out, I could always leave, right?
Well, that's the rough part. You might not be able to. I guess the question is, Rocky, are you looking... What do you want out of this? Do you want to go back to being a normal-ish guy, or do you want to be exceptional for once in your life?
I do like feeling special, but I don't like feeling special in a basement while everybody thinks that I'm a monster.
People are going to think you're a monster whether or not you look like that or not. You have powers they envy.
Yeah, you're right.
So the question is, do you want to live on their terms or your terms? If you want to live on their terms, I'd say go to Project Utopia. If you want to live on your terms, I know some people you can talk to. Tempest?
You gonna call
Kind
it?
of says like, was that?
Give her a call.
Oh, okay.
Like just kind of saying that to Nixie Midnight, like, Tempest? Tempest?
Can give her a call, see what she has to say.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm sure we could do our best to arrange legal support as well. We're doing a center, though.
As you call, she answers the phone and says, and you hear like something sizzle in the background as soon as she answers. And she says, talk fast, kind of in the middle of something.
Oh, good luck with what you're in the middle of. Chances of organizing legal support for a cool, rocky gentleman?
Legal support? I can
Well,
make some calls. Ow!
we'll call
Keep
back
doing what you're
later.
doing. We'll figure this out later.
Sure.
Good luck. Love you. Don't damage those boots, okay?
Boots are fine. She hangs up.
Good. Oh, thank goodness. Sorry, just in the middle of defending humanity. A little busy right now.
Well, here's the thing, though. Legal support, that's one way to do it. But when you're a god, you're above the law, Rocky.
I mean,
I've heard and I re-listened to the Null Manifesto, and I don't. My mom's a baseline.
Yep.
I don't feel
But
like I'm above her.
Well, her grandkids won't be. We're each generation is better than the last one. You're a step forward. That doesn't diminish what she is, but it exalts what you are and what you can become. Our parents always want us to be better than them. You just are one of the few that is proof positive. You're a step in the right direction. Like it or not, you are above her. But I think she wants
Although you're
that for
presently in
you.
the basement.
Well, yeah. unless you stand up too quickly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you make a great point, and I trust you, and I don't trust them. So if you've got some people that can help, that would be great.
I will say I don't think we're quite as organized on it to the same degree. We don't have the same resources or the backing of the United Nations, but we'll certainly do our best to help. We look out for each other. And we don't want to diminish you.
No.
I appreciate you considering my thoughts in this, but man, I'm a kid. I don't know what the fuck I want.
But who says you have to pick?
Or they have to pick right now.
And if the cops come back,
You can take
You
a
won't
vacation to
even
the
be here.
moon.
Well, besides, don't you want to see how strong you really are?
not on cops. I mean, kind of on cops.
No, not on cops. But I think we should go do a little training montage.
You think it's safe?
I'll get the GoPro.
Get the GoPro. Here, say goodbye to your mom. We can come get her later. But I think it's time you stop playing with the PlayStation, and then you really come start playing with power.
Oh, okay. Mom, I'll be back. He gets up and rushes. He starts to rush up the stairs that lead out of the basement. And like he gets up one step and then just falls through the stairway. Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah, that first step's a doozy. Nixie, can you take us somewhere where he can hit something and not be near civilization?
Well.
Maybe somewhere in Canada?
Oh, I was literally thinking of the moon. Okay, yes, we can just go to Canada.
No. Somewhere less,
No.
somewhere more isolated than the moon.
It's like, I don't think I can breathe on the moon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fine.
I'm not sure you can breathe in Canada.
What? More trees up there. It's nice.
Why? Is it
But
too cold?
I do know a really nice spa up in the Rockies we can go visit.
You said something about a spa. Let's go to the Rockies.
Yeah, a little relaxation. Okay, so hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give your mom my phone number. It sounds fun. It's just to make sure that she's feeling a little bit more okay with us stealing her son. We'll take you somewhere a little bit away from this. Maybe I will find a way to message the cops to let them know we're working on it, but nothing untoward is gonna happen. We're simply discussing legal options, and then we'll go get a bath. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
They don't have a warrant. They haven't told you not to leave the state. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So, poof, mom, business card, give.
Excellent.
Quick phone call. I guess like text. I don't know. How do you call the police without having to talk to them?
You call
Crime
the
tips line.
non-emergency line and just say, "Hey, this is what's up."
Yeah, just saying, hey, so just a small update on that. We're taking that individual on a little excursion, discussing legal advice. We'll be returning. Absolutely not fleeing the state. Love you. Little moon and a heart.
I love it. And you
Let's go to the Rockies.
Excellent. You teleport the group to Colorado. You arrive at the spa that you're familiar with. Are you going to spend some time there, sort of relaxing and calming down before you head out into the wilds, or are you going to head straight out into the wilds?
I like the spa because the options are both there. So if what Rocky wants to do immediately is go hang out with Sovereign, go haywire mode, and go break all of the trees that he can find in the middle of nowhere,
I was
that
thinking
sounds
knocking some
great.
peaks off the Rocky Mountains.
Sure, yeah, go for that, you two. Or if Rocky wants to relax a bit first, that's also an option. So she'll present the choice.
Rocky says, I've been sitting in a basement. I could use to stretch my legs, and if you think I can shear the top off a mountain, let's go find out.
Let's go find out. Let's see, how high can you jump? I want you to jump as far as you can that way.
He jumps and gets a couple feet off the ground.
All right, not much of a jumper. That's fine.
But as he starts to crest downward, the ground reaches up to meet him. And he starts like surfing forward on a rocky extension.
Are you
Like,
fucking kidding me?
what?
That's amazing.
Wait, were you a skater kid?
Yeah. This is amazing.
You're a regular rock star.
He like loops around twice and lands, and as he lands, the rocky formation that he was projecting on crumbles to dust and harmlessly falls to the ground.
That's ridiculous. I wonder how high up you can do that. You want to find out?
Yeah, let's find out.
Cool. I'm gonna grab him and I'm gonna jump him. He's pretty tough, right? You know, so I'm gonna walk up and give him the old like ting ting with the back of his knuckle.
He's solid.
Okay, we're gonna start doing some trials by fire. Ready? Too late. And I'm gonna jump him. I'm gonna drop him from like 200 feet up in the air.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he can take it. I'm pretty sure he can take 200 feet.
He screams, and the earth does rise up to meet him. And when he hits it, it like cracks, a piece falls off, and you see like a couple of cracks appear on his skin. But as he's finding his feet, you see little bits of the earth column that rose up to meet him almost like crawl up the outside of his skin and like patch the cracks.
Huh. Well, did that hurt at all?
I mean, hurt's a strong word. It felt kind of like, it was like stubbing my toe.
Oh no, for you! It hurts really bad.
I mean, it's inconvenient, but no, I think I'm
And
okay.
Okay, well, you want to see how far you can push that?
My ability to fall? No.
Well, let's try this. I'm going to punch him.
Okay, excellent. Go ahead.
I'm going to punch you.
Beautiful. He says,
As long as you boys are having fun.
okay.
Don't worry, I'll hold back. I'm not going to hold back. I got 2 successes on a might and close combat at might 3.
Excellent. Give me a second here. I bring up his
Well, I'm
stat.
pretty sure his mega stamina is going to make this just a regular punch. It's not like a face punch. It's just like a chest punch. Like, I mean, I guess it would stop a normal man's heart. But
Most likely, yes. Excellent. As you punch, the earth comes up in front of him, and like you shatter that completely. And it still hits him, and he still takes a step back.
that was a solid punch. Do you want to know how hard I hit you?
I mean, it felt like pretty hard.
I hit you this hard. I'm just going to punch the ground at the same strength.
All right.
I don't have mega shockwave or anything like that, but it's probably enough to still like put my fist into the ground.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can go like elbow deep into the ground with a punch, easy.
Like, look at that. That if you would have been a normal human, this would have been out the back. I would have been able to wave to the viewers at home.
He says, "Let me try that," and
Please
he
don't do that.
punches the ground. And I just need to look up what this does when he does.
This is gonna launch my ass into orbit.
Okay.
At least I don't take damage from falling usually, so that's good. This is technically a jump.
Okay, so he needs to roll close combat and might. All right, so that's 2 successes. Excellent. How far away did you take them, Sovereign?
I'm gonna say like to the nearest uninhabited place.
All right, so
I'd say
Probably at least a few
mile.
kilometers.
Nixie and Aurora, I assume, are chilling at the spa then.
I was about to ask the question too. If you two are just taking off into the wilderness, Aurora, do you want to stay? Do you want to watch, or do you want to go to the spa?
I think she would probably watch for a little bit, and then she might get bored and just go like, let's do something. Let's go to the spa.
So maybe watching for a bit.
As you're watching for a moment, you look over at like a nearby mountaintop, and you see the snow fall down the sides of it, and like the tree line fold down.
Oh.
Sovereign, you're knocked prone as he hits the ground, and it doesn't actually even damage the ground, but he clears the snow off the top of this mountain and knocks down like the first 3 rows of trees as you look down the side of the mountain. He goes, "Oh shit, I think it just caused an avalanche."
worth it.
Important question. This mountain's in the middle of nowhere. No one would be skiing on it, right?
They did not go to like a ski resort, no.
Yeah, okay.
Just see John Cusack on one ski, like, oh shit. No. No, it is a empty mountain. He says
That was pretty cool.
it is pretty cool. I think that's a bit much. I would very much like to soak in hot water.
Let's go soak in hot water.
He steps off the edge of the mountain, and the earth reaches out to greet him, and he surfs along a earth platform back in that direction.
He'll just jump. And then go into the spa.
Spa.
You make-
Hopefully they actually have room for us today.
They make room for you. They set aside a separate. You've got like the sweat box and hot tubs and all that stuff. They clear like a wing for you because you're celebrities.
Nixie will be extremely gracious. Thanks them all an awful lot. Yeah.
So just make sure you mention the place on social media. That would be.
Oh, I love this place. No one gets the water right like you do.
Oh, thank you. We try very hard. As you're sitting and chilling, what else are you doing?
Being slightly internally terrified that Rocky just knocked all the snow off the top of a mountain. But otherwise, mostly vibing.
Right on.
Every now and again, taking a nervous look at her phone to see what's on fire.
After about 10 minutes of soaking in the spa, you do get a call, incoming call from Tempest.
Oh, speakerphone button, speakerphone. Hello?
Hey, sorry, we had, as I expected, a little bit of trouble with the aberrants. But everyone at the courthouse is now safe. The aberrants responsible are now in custody, and Ken is icing his black eye. Are you sure you don't want me to just heal that for you? I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's
Oh,
nothing.
sometimes it's about the principle.
Yeah, I guess. At the moment, everything here is okay. Do you need me to come to you?
Well, currently we're in a spawn, Colorado.
Oh,
Took
okay.
Rocky out to the wilderness to hang out with Sovereign a little bit and sort of, explore the bounds of his capabilities. Clear the snow off a mountain. I tell you, this kid, goodness.
Oh, so he's like a Earth manipulator.
Yeah, I have no idea. Yes.
Sure, I
Cool
guess.
rock stuff. Was surfing all over the place. Honestly, super cool. You two haven't really talked yet, have you?
No, not more than just the briefly on speakerphone. I think things are here are calm enough that I can make my way there. Have you checked in? How long have you been in Colorado?
I don't know, a couple hours?
Okay. Do you have any idea how things are progressing back in Minneapolis?
Well, I called the police and told them we weren't quite fleeing the state and that I loved them and that we would be back soon. So hopefully that's fine. And then otherwise, no, I'm a little out of the loop.
Okay.
Aurora's usually good about this stuff. Anything on your socials?
Aurora, are you checking your phone at all, or have you been just soaking in the spa?
She's been trying to soak a little bit and then carefully looking at her phone, like making sure she turns around to the edge and doesn't drop her like phone into the spa. She has left like a very vague message on her socials.
Yeah, I saw the vague tweet that you shared in chat, and that vague tweet has been retweeted like 4,000 times, liked 7,000 times, lots of comments. Sort of
for you.
sort of the mix that you would imagine of like some people are like, yeah, we support you and we see you and you're beautiful, and there's also tweets like stay out of Minnesota, aberrant scum, things like that. So
very controversial, very vague. To share to everyone's stream, she wrote, "Isn't it sad that for all the good he could do, all he's trying to do is to protect his own ego, not humanity," in all caps, last part.
I love it.
She's still very salty about it, and she's completely read him wrong, but because she's believing it, and she's trying to be good, learn from her like seniors and mentors and slash idols too. She's trying to keep quiet, but she just had too much pent up anger from the meeting, so she's like, I'm going to take this to social media.
As one does. You haven't seen any news or any alerts regarding the situation in Minnesota, like nothing newsworthy has happened in Minneapolis since. The only further coverage is that Wayne Corp, or I guess stop doing that, Wonder Corp, and
Right, it's hard.
and Wonder Corp and the National Weather Service and the state police have been coordinating to try to figure out the cause of the earthquakes. Due to the pending legislation, Project Utopia still refuses to enter without a formal invitation from the mayor.
So dramatic.
Are people still like writing articles about Sovereign?
No, No, there's a press release was released by the Aeon Council that clearly there was a misunderstanding, and Margaret Mercer, while she prefers to keep her private life private, denies any romantic connection with any member of the Teragen.
So dramatic.
Desperately trying to think of a funny way to relay this to Sovereign by using the word smash. She's currently struggling.
Smash
and
that
she-
like button.
Yeah,
Smash
there's a
that
clip
dislike
of-
button,
yeah.
apparently.
Looks like your dreams got smashed. No, I don't know.
Are you just rehearsing in the corner over there for something? What's going on? He's got cucumber slices on his eyes. What's going on? I haven't checked my phone.
More vague
I'm-
tweets about like, oh, I guess his dreams got smashed into pieces. No, just trying to. She's being a bit of a butt right now.
Tempest says, well, you want to send me the address then, Nixie?
Oh, right, sure. I've never driven here. Hang on. let me pull up the website.
Excellent.
We'll go find it.
She says, all right, I'll be there. And then you all hear like a pop and a slight sparking of electricity as she appears in the room.
Hey, hand a couple of slices of cucumbers. Welcome, good to see you.
Hey, she hangs up the phone, and as she climbs into the hot tub, her costume turns into a bathing suit. So
Do you still wear the boots when you do that? I never take mine off. I probably should.
they're just programmed along with the U-fiber to be able to switch. So it sounds like we have a lot to discuss and a lot to figure out, huh?
I think so.
Starting with you, big guy. And she looks over at Rocky. And with that, we'll wrap things up for this week. Any questions, comments,
Nice.
complaints, or concerns about today's session?
I think it was a lot of fun.
No. It was good. It was good. There's going to be trouble. We're going for one more episode or two more?
Depending on how the next episode goes, it'll either be one or two. So
Good. I can't wait. It has been so hard to not like just punch his head off, Williams. I was like, you have a critical flaw in your system, man. You have to be able to touch your watch before that comes on. I'm pretty sure I can knock your head through the wall before you do that.
you are welcome to test that assumption at your convenience, as Captain Picard would say.
Oh God, that'd be so good. Oh, I just want to beat his ass. I'm just like, do I just go full Aberrant and just start like smashing?
That was my hope.
Just gotta put on a hat and a mustache so they don't know it's you.
I would like to
It is King Man, the unknown villain.
I would like to apologize to the cast and the audience for the build up. This has been about build up. I need you to make sure that when you do ultimately take a swing at this guy that you really, really wanted to. So thank you
totally.
for
No, it's good.
Thank you.
It's good. It's good.
This is really enjoyable. I like the role playing and the exploring the world and the setting and the politics and all of that. It's been really nice.
Good. Well, I'm glad that
It's been really good.
I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I'm having a riot with it. So
It's great. You do superhero very, very well, Travis, and I love it.
thank you. It's one of my favorite things.
I also want to apologize because Twitch added a new button, like the react button. So I accidentally sent you an oh no at the beginning of game. So
Wait, react button.
it's if you go to Twitch, it's right above the
I'm
Onyx Pat's name.
reacting.
So it allows you to send something so that the streamer knows your general opinion of their stream. But oh no looked really funny, and I was like, oh no, as in like, oh no, we're gonna cause a bunch of trouble. But I think it comes off as a negative review. So that's not what I meant. I'm sorry.
No worries. That's interesting. I'll have to play with that feature.
I don't even know
looks
where that
dumb as-
goes.
I don't even know. It probably shows up at the end of game. So I'll have to check my own settings too for
Yeah.
like for Dark Tales and like.
Oh, there is a
From
react.
dashboard.
Look at that. Oh no, I mean they're just the emotes, so you can.
But it says it goes straight to you at the end, so that's going to be weird.
That is a trip. So yeah, make sure you react to the stream. Let us know what you think. Having said all that, we will be back. Everybody's good for this time next week. Yes.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. So we'll be back this time next week for either the conclusion or part one of the conclusion, depending on how things fly, of Aberrant Vigilance. I want to thank everyone here for being here. This has truly been a joy. I'm glad you're enjoying it because I'm having a blast with this story. And I want to thank everyone watching live and watching in VOD for doing so. Just a reminder that if you subscribe to the channel, you have access to all of the VODs instantaneously. Otherwise, they do eventually make their way over to our YouTube channel. I do want to remind you that right now, Exalted 3rd Edition Sidereals is our current Kickstarter. We've got about 7 days-ish left on that. And it is the 10th anniversary of Onyx Path Publishing. Each month we have been celebrating a different line. This month's line is Trinity Continuum. So make sure you're following the Monday meeting notes and checking that out to see what is on sale and where it's on sale at. And the last thing I want to do before I start having everyone tell us who they are, what they do, and who they've been playing and all that fun stuff is to tell everyone as soon as the stream is over, you should go over to the Onyx Path website and check out the new blog that dropped today, because there's a little piece of news there for you. And I've thrown that in the chat. But before you run away, please, let's start things off with Aurora. Please tell us who you are, what you do, who you've been playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would care to promote.
Hello! So I've been playing Aurora, and my name is Bianca. Both her pronouns are she, her. I work as a content designer for digital games, but I dabble with tabletop every now and again. For my plug for this time, it's just going to be that if you are a fan of tabletop RPGs and you have a physical store in your town or in the one next over, then make suggestions for lines that aren't always in the stores as well, so it can get some more physical books and spread those around a bit more.
Absolutely. Support your friendly local game store. On that note, make sure to request Onyx Path books. If there's been a Kickstarter for it, it's available in your friendly local game store. So I would like to piggyback on that and thank you for bringing it up and recommend that people do that very thing. Thank you so very much. And thank you for being here. I love the character. I love the sort of newbie fish out of water aspect. That's super, super cool, super fun.
She's a baby.
She's great, and I love her. Speaking of people who are great and I love, that will bring us over to Kelly. Please give us all of your pertinent details.
Hey everybody, I'm Kelly. I use he and him, and so does Sovereign. God, he uses it in all caps because he's a giant dick.
Huge.
So
tumbling. I commend
huge.
you on being a tumbling dickweed.
He's so. I'm holding back a little because this isn't my channel. My channel is twitch.tv/dorktales. So if you want to see me play dickheads that don't hold back, go to my channel. And particularly, if you like Onyx Path stuff, we run quite a few Onyx Path games. Most particularly, a Mage the Ascension, the Victorian era game that is an all female or female presenting cast. And in the Victorian age, that means there is a lot of misogyny and blowing it up with fireballs. So please come and watch me play an absolute dickhead and get my comeuppance almost on a weekly basis. But you can find me at twitch.tv/dorktales, where I run way too many games, and also on YouTube under Dorktales as well, and wherever your podcasts are sold.
Excellent. And I have thrown the link to Dorktales over in the chat. Please go over there and hand them a follow and a sub and all that fun stuff. Check out their Patreon. Lots of cool stuff going on there. And speaking further of people who I love and am thrilled that have taken the time to join us, please give us all of Nixie's pertinent details, if you would be so kind.
Sure. So I'm going to do my own first because I'm a dork. So hi, I'm Millie and/or Bunnyhearted. You can find me over at twitch.tv/Bunnyhearted, where I'm a cozy, comfy VTuber doing silly, nonsensically, and adorable, inclusive things. I do want to plug an event actually but I should talk about Nixie first. And today I have been Nixie Midnight, a sort of bitter veteran magical girl looking for something to fight for and trying to shelter Bianca's character from all of the evils of the world. It's an absolute pleasure playing her. She's an awful lot of fun. And tomorrow, speaking of an awful lot of fun, I'm doing a charity stream for survivors.org, which connects survivors of sexualized and gender-based violence with, the supports and resources and stuff that they need. I'm really proud to be supporting them. And I'm really excited for tomorrow's little event. Yeah.
And is that going to be over at the Bunnyhearted channel?
It'll be over on my channel. That's right.
Excellent. I've just thrown that channel up in the chat as well. Please
thank you. I really
head
appreciate
over
it.
and make sure you're following, just as I
forgot
have
pronouns.
just done. Oh, yes, please. Your pronouns and their
Imagine being a
pronouns.
trans person, just like completely forgetting to use your pronouns anywhere. Anyways, hi, my pronouns are she and her, and the who, they, and them. Nixie's are she and her. The event is at 5 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow.
Beautiful. Please head over and check that out. That sounds like a wonderful cause, and obviously your presence is a wonderful presence. So
Takes one to know one, dork butt.
Aw, that's sweet. Thank you. I appreciate it. And speaking of being dork butts, I am Travis. My pronouns are he and they. When I'm not running games, I'm writing them. And if you will permit me just the smallest amount of self-promotion, I had the extreme honor and privilege of being the developer of M20 Sorcerer for Mage the Ascension 20th Anniversary Edition. One of the realities of publishing is that there's not always enough room to put everything we would love to put into a book. So I have created a book over at Storyteller's Vault called Tome of Rituals, which is a companion to M20 Sorcerer. It contains 100 new rituals. It's up there for $2.95 in PDF.
Damn.
I would love it if you would head over there and check it out. Expand what your sorcerers can do, and go have fun with your little mini mages. I love them so much. Once again, I would like to remind you, if you have not yet done so, please make sure you're liking, following, subscribing, all that good stuff. You're getting your shots. You're handling your hand washing hygiene appropriately. We're heading into winter, so there's all sorts of things you can get sick from, and we've all been a little too sick these last couple of years. So please take care of yourselves, and we will see you hopefully in good health this time next week. Till then, bye.
Bye, everybody.